Shalom, shalom. This week's Parsha is Parshat Eikev, and Moshe continues to speak to the nation of Israel, imploring them to stay on the right path so that they should have a good life. And there's a couple of passages that I'd like to take the time to read out loud in English so everyone can understand, and just look at a few points that really hit home for me, so I'd like to just share it with you. And let's start from here. It's chapter 10, the 12th pasuk, and again in English. Now, O Israel, what does Hashem your God ask of you? Only to fear Hashem your God, to go in all his ways and to love him, and to serve him, your God, with all your heart and with all your soul, to observe the commandments of Hashem and his decrees, which I command you today for your benefit. Behold, to Hashem your God are heaven and highest heaven, the earth and everything that is in it. Only your forefathers did Hashem cherish to love them, and he chose their offspring after them, you. From among all of the peoples of this day, you shall cut away the barrier of your heart and no longer stiffen your neck. For Hashem your God, he is the God of powers, the God of the lords, great and mighty and awesome God, who does not show favor and does not accept a bribe. And it goes on, but I just want to stop there to look at a few key points that really, really speak to me. So Moshe is saying to the nation, what does God ask of you? And he's trying to tell them that God is not asking of the people to do things for the sake of God. He says it's for your sake, for the sake of the people. So God, everything that God gives us as a commandment, a mitzvah is something that's supposed to connect us to God. And when I go like this, because people think God is above, but like Moshe said, God is everywhere, in the high heavens, in the earth, within us. This mitzvah is to connect us with God and everything around us, because there's God in everything. So to connect us, to our surroundings, to God above, God below, wherever God might be. And this will give us a good life. And he says this phrase is that, like I said, God's not doing it for himself. He's doing it so that we can have this good life of feeling whole, of feeling at peace with ourselves and our surroundings. And he says you should cut away the barrier of your heart and no longer stiffen your neck. These are two problems that the Jewish people tend to have all the time. We put this barrier around our heart because our heart, what we feel, what we know, what we sense, what moves us, is very clearly the goodness, the God within. And sometimes we put these barriers for different reasons, experiences, hurt, whatever it might be, that bring us down. And we don't let any of the goodness or the truth that we know exists out there, but it's either too difficult for us to confront, too challenging, too demanding, or makes us vulnerable. And so we put these barriers around our heart that make us in turn resist the good things, the commandments of God, the things that will bring us whole and peace. That's one thing that we have a problem with. And another problem that we have is the stiff-neckedness of the Jewish people. What does that mean? Stiff-necked means like we're just looking, we have this one way of seeing things, of looking. We can't turn our head to see what's on the right, to see what's on the left, to see what's behind us. We're going straight ahead with whatever our plans, whatever we think, and we have this tunnel vision that takes us where we want to go. Instead of saying sometimes, and we see this so much today, what is the truth? We need to look to the right, we need to look to the left, we need to analyze all the different ideas, we need to look behind us at our history, at the lessons we can learn, at what God has done for us in our past that should really help to guide us in our future. All of these things are crucial, and we get bogged down by a tunnel vision of what we think we want going in one direction instead of in search of all the truth and meaning and motivation that surrounds us, that is abundant, that God puts around us. There are things that we see and that we hear that are so much to the right and so much to the left of us that we're like, no, but you know what? Everything has a point of truth. There's something to learn from everything. And it's our obligation to stop, stop with what we're doing and to hear and to understand and to analyze and rehash and to think what's the best way to go about our life. And God makes it as easy as he can by telling us, by guiding us, by giving us these proper mitzvot. And again, why do I end with these words of God doesn't take, he's not a God who takes bribe or shows favor. People tend to erroneously think in a very childlike way that when we do these commandments, we're doing it for God. We're doing God some sort of a favor. God doesn't take favors. God doesn't take bribes. God, there's nothing you can give God. God has everything. It's ridiculous to think that we can give God something. The things that he commands us all for our growth, for our benefit, for the people, the benefit around us, for the world's benefit, for this unfinished work that God put us here on this earth to partner with him and to do and to make and to create and to live and to just have good for ourselves. It doesn't affect God in one way or another, other than he has a plan and he wants us to fulfill it. And we want to fulfill it because that's the goodness really that we seek out in our life, is this fulfillment, this peace, this wholeness. And that's what we're here for. So those are the thoughts that I wanted to share on these, I think, very, very meaningful pasukim. And to know that God, he loves us. He wants what's good for us. And whether we do or we don't do, we're only helping or harming ourselves in the end of the day. And with that, I wish you all Shabbat Shalom. Peace.